Good morning all and welcome to this morning's video. So this morning I have 4 pairs on watch, and those are pound CAD, Euro CAD, Euro Aussie and Euro Kiwi. So it's pretty much all about the Euro today. So my favorite of the bunch is pound CAD in terms of the higher time frame structure mainly, but we have this area of value here, okay? We sold off very aggressively from that area last time around. Okay, you can see massive sell off there. Okay, and the clue that it was an area of value was that with the fact that we near missed to it. Okay, and we near missed to it again. Okay, these near misses often get filled. Okay, and they also, especially when it's visible on multiple time frames, so we can even see this on the monthly. Okay, what do we know about that? We typically break above if we're going to move to the downside, catching people the wrong side of the market that think that this is support once it's broken above. People that were holding this continue to hold it out of greed because they think, what if it keeps going? Okay, and then what we normally see is this, not always to this extent. We don't normally always break above by this amount, but then we completely capitulate to the downside. And what I like about this now is that we can, even on the daily chart, you can see that we have an impulse correction continuation. So the market has already showed its hand, and now what I like is we've got a further continuation below this low here, okay, suggesting a change in sentiment. And we're also trading predominantly below this low as well, suggesting that this is actually just a bit of profit taken at this low, okay, potentially for the next leg lower. Okay, in terms of the higher time frame structure, I like the fact that we are quite high up in the run, okay, relative to this low and this low down here. If we measure where price started impulsing, and we assume when we have an impulse correction continuation, so impulse correction potential continuation, if we assume that that leg is of a similar length, which it usually is, that would take us down to this area. And if we measured it on the break, wherever the break would be, so around the area, that would take us down to here. So that makes contextual sense as well. Okay, if we just zoom in a little bit, you can see we're gravitating towards the top of this structure. Okay, but this is a slightly messy price action on this pair, but this is pound CAD, and that is a characteristic of pound CAD. I am looking at the makeup of this, okay, but we can see that we clearly have a high of the structure. There's nothing sat above, okay, no real inflection points. We have these little wicks here, but we can see the structure. These are the highs, okay, so we may be getting a little bit of a FOMO move here. You can almost anticipate these things a lot of the time. Okay, so we have this first drive, and then we get close. So potentially we sell off here, get something like that. We get the FOMO channel, perhaps, and then something like that. But regardless, what I'm going to be looking for from this pair today is the following. So I'm not looking for a 5-minute risk entry just because of the makeup of this structure. It's very messy, and I can't easily identify the middle section within it. Okay, but what I can identify is the highs and the lows. Okay, so we have the lows there, just cutting through that wick because it's a volatility spike, and we have the highs. Okay, and because we also might be trading above this low as well, I'm not going to be looking for a 5-minute risk entry, a 5-minute insurance entry in this instance. I don't know why my camera has just gone off. I'm sure I put that on, but for some reason it's gone off. So I'll be looking for a tap into this area of value, a pushback down on the alert's gone as well. So that must have triggered. So we'll stick that back on the chart. I'll be looking for a tap into the area of value, push down, and then a 15-minute continuation or a 2-touch 15-minute continuation with a 3-touch structural approach. And then I would be able to manage it down to these lows for something in the region of 4%. And in this instance, because of the lack of profit potential within this structure, what I would actually be looking for is I'll be looking for, okay, my arrow's gone as well. There it is. Right, okay. So I'll be targeting that low down there, okay? And what I would do is, as usual, I would measure the range that the type flag that I'm looking to get short on the break of all within is within. Okay, and then I'll be targeting, I would set a take profit there. Okay, whilst trailing my stop loss accordingly as well. So that is pound CAD. Okay, so we shall see what happens with that. When I did my forecast last night, I actually had nothing on watch, and then literally by the morning there was four pairs that were shaping up. So it's amazing how quick stuff can price action can shape up in this game. So Euro CAD, okay, if pound CAD is moving to the downside, then the correlation with the pound and the euro would suggest that Euro CAD is likely doing the same. So we kind of reacted from nothing here. Okay, so while we broke above here, okay, caught people the wrong side of the market. If we just zoom out, yeah, you can see this high on the weekly. We broke above, caught people the wrong side of the market, and pushed to the downside. Okay, we even had that kind of that structure there, where we have the middle section within it. Okay, and what I like about this is that we are trading. Okay, we've had quite a direct move. We've had this series of impulse corrections, and it looks quite clear to me that we are coming back up to retest the back, to tap into that high, retest the back end of these lows here, and potentially take out that low, which this low near miss 2. Okay, so if we just zoom in a little bit. Okay, you can see price starting to gravitate back towards this high. This may be a similar deal as with pound CAD. We may be getting that. We may be seeing, something more like that. Maybe we get something like that and tap into that area. Who knows? But given the size of this structure, what I'd be looking for, I do kind of like we do have kind of a bit of a middle section there. It is a bit more easily identifiable than pound CAD, and you might think, well, why haven't you got Euro CAD higher up on the list? Well, I'm prioritizing the higher time frame structure over the lower time frame. Okay, so the higher time frame always holds more weight, and the higher time frame of pound CAD is clearer to me than Euro CAD. Okay, so that's why one of the reasons I've got pound CAD higher. But on Euro CAD, same deal again. I'm going to be looking for a tap into the area of value, a push down, and in this instance, the same thing again, a 15-minute continuation. Not looking for a 5, just because of how far we are into the higher time frame move. You do have to remember where you are in the. It's always important to zoom back out. Okay, and you can see that we are quite far into this higher time frame run. So I'm not going to be looking for 5-minute insurance entries in this instance, especially as we've kind of tapped that low as well. I'm going to be looking for a tap into the area of value, followed by a push down and a 15-minute continuation. Okay, a 3-touch 15-minute continuation, or a 2-touch 15-minute continuation with a 3-touch structural approach. And then in this instance, because there's a tiny bit more profit potential on the cards, potentially I would be measuring from there to there, and I would set a take profit. That is kind of my bare minimum. Like 5% is about my bare minimum. Okay, where I will use the mechanical management, the take profit. So that is Euro CAD. We'll see if we tap into the area of value or not. Euro Aussie. So Euro Aussie, similar type of deal again. Okay, we have previously, I was looking for this for longs, if you remember rightly, but I said that what might happen. So it's important to be neutral. I'm not interested in being right, like the amateurs and the novices in this game. I'm interested in managing my risk and adjusting my sails as the wind changes direction, as it were. Okay, so what I was previously looking for is a break below here, a push back up, and a flag like that, a bull flag to push higher. We didn't get that. Okay, price when it pushed up here, it just completely retraced. Okay, so when that happens, that gives me a clue. If you feel free to watch my videos that I made earlier this week, I said that I was looking for a break above here and a flag. Okay, and if we didn't get that, if we push back down, okay, then likely we'd get something I said like this, where we get that, and then that becomes a bear flag to push lower. Look at that, folks. It looks almost identical to what I was saying. So I'm not interested. I don't care which one of the entries shapes up. I'm not attached to either of them. I'm just looking at analyzing the price action and then saying, okay, well, this hasn't shaped up. What's the next option? The next option is this. Okay, well, let's look for that then. Okay, that's all I'm doing, right? So what I'm looking for in this instance, I don't know why that's on the chart. That doesn't need to be there anymore. So I'm looking for a tap into the area of value. In this instance, I want to see a tap below the area of interest partly because there was a big sell-off there, which implies there may be a lot of volume. So I don't really want to be I don't want to be tapped in here, retest the back end of that, and then this ends up pushing higher. Okay, especially given once again that the makeup of this structure isn't the clearest. Okay. So if we just zoom back out, yeah, that would make more contextual sense. So I'll be waiting for a tap into the area of value. In this instance, a 1 hour impulse down below the area of interest. Again, we may be getting a little FOMO channel here. And then I'll be looking for a 3-touch 15-minute continuation or a 2-touch 15-minute continuation with a 3-touch structural approach. And once again, we have to remember how far we are into this higher time frame run and potentially. And I will be targeting. We've got we measure that down to there. And then in this instance, I would once again use the mechanical management tool, and that would give us something in the region of 6% to work with, and I would trail my stop loss accordingly. So that is Euro Aussie. We'll see if we get an entry on this. No entries for me this week. It's been once again another very barren month in terms of opportunities, but it is what it is. I'm not bothered about what the market does or what it doesn't do. All I'm interested in is what I do. Okay, and if nothing shapes up, nothing shapes up. I'm not bothered. I've got multiple streams of income, so for this very reason, because you don't know if entries are going to shape up or not. So it's not a sustainable way to budget your life, relying on entries that may or may not shape up. So that's why I have multiple streams of income. So last up is Euro Kiwi. And Euro Kiwi, we've broken above the high now. So this may end up forming a bull flag to push higher, perhaps. If we get that, then that may be something that I'll entertain, but we would need to see a lot more volume. But at this moment in time, we have a near miss to that low, and we've moved up in a very non-progressive manner. Okay. If we just zoom in, you can see, as I was talking about yesterday, we had that area of value there, which smashed through the brick wall low there. A little bit of a sharp move, which is a bit more visible on the 1 hour. We near missed to it, suggesting that this is an area of value. And I wasn't necessarily anticipating a big break above because this isn't a higher time frame liquidity point, but that still happens. Okay, we near missed to that again, suggesting this is an area of value. If you remember in yesterday's video, I said to you that I could easily see this because we'd sold off more correctively than we moved up. Okay, I could easily see this selling off and then coming back to the value area. And one of the reasons I'm not surprised it broke the low before it did that is because Euro Kiwi is the most notorious pair for expanding patterns. So where we get higher highs and lower lows, that's how Euro Kiwi, that's a very, very specific character trait of Euro Kiwi. And I wasn't necessarily anticipating it to break that far below, but I was anticipating when we started stalling here, a break below and a push back up to give us an expanding pattern and to then tap into that area. Okay, so once you've seen these things enough times, you kind of anticipate these things. So what I'm going to be looking for is the same as with Euro Aussie. I'm going to be looking for a break back below the area of interest. Okay, and it's interesting we've got that wick there because what may we may get something like that where we near miss to it, and then that becomes a bull flag to push higher. I'm just, thinking of all these things, especially given how wide this correction has become relative to the move down which is preceding it. We know that we sometimes get these M-style patterns like that, where price then moves up. That looks a bit rude, doesn't it? And then where we tap into that, that's what we call an M-style. Okay, so what I'm going to be looking for is a break below the area of interest, and then the same thing again, a 3-touch 15-minute continuation, or a 2-touch 15-minute continuation with a 3-touch structural approach, and then I'll be able to manage it down to there for something in the region of 2.4, and then we've got down to here. Let's try that again. If we measure that, we would have something in the region of 9% to work with. So that is Euro Kiwi. So that's what I'm going to be looking for today, guys and girls. Of course, if I place a trade, if one does actually shape up, then great. If it doesn't, then not bothered. We get, just to touch on it, we've also got this. So we have that impulse correction continuation. If the legs tend to be of a similar length, that takes us up to kind of where we're stalling now. So maybe this is the end of this 1, 2, 3 move, which then gives us that move to the downside. But we shall see. I'm just going to let the market show its hand, and if it provides an entry, great. If it doesn't, it's all good. So that is what I'm going to be looking for today, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I bid you a great weekend, and I will see you again in the next one, which will be made most likely on Monday. Thanks very much indeed for watching.